Call the Village of Lake Park, August 12th, 2025, council meeting to order. Would please bow for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we humbly bow before you tonight, Lord. Lord, we're grateful for our lives, Lord. We're grateful for our community. Lord, we just ask you to continue to guide and direct and protect the members of this council, Lord, the members of our community. Lord, we pray for those that may not even know they need you, Lord. We pray for those that are sick and injured. Pray for those in our state government, our federal government. Certainly pray for our first responders and military, Lord. Lord, I ask you to just touch this meeting, let us all understand and hear each other, Lord. Lord, you let us bless those that come and go and keep everybody safe on the way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Rise to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment, anybody signed up or need to speak?
No, thank you.
Everything, all right. At this time, we'll have a special presentation. Probably not expected, but we will. Ms. Cheryl Bennett is celebrating 20 years of service this month with us.
Careless travel.
She was like, why is everybody looking at me?
I'm like, oh, what was I supposed to do?
You good, Mark?
Yeah.
You good?
I got the video.
Thank you very much.
Cheryl, we appreciate everything that you do. I know Mayor Cleveland used to say she keeps us out of jail. I think he's right.
Thank you very much.
But on behalf of council and our community and street and staff, I mean, we appreciate everything that you do, and you certainly, it's a thankless job, and I understand it. And sometimes when I reply to emails, I go back and say, now, I hope you don't read it the way
You said.
might think I'm saying it. No, not the way that I said it. But anyway, 20 years is a long time, and we certainly appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
As Council Jim, anything you'd like to add?
No, I just say thank you for everything that you do for us and the community, and 20 years. Thank you. It's a lot.
Don't you think so?
Yes.
Mark?
Thank you so much for all you do for all the 20 years now. And of course, I've only been a part of it for the last 4, but you do so much, and you always smile, and like with all the COVID stuff that went through, and you trying to figure out all this funding and how much we can, how we go about spending all that money and stuff. So we're just lucky to have you and glad to have you. Good luck.
Thank you, Cheryl. 20 years is a long time. Thank you for everything you've done, and we really appreciate you keeping us out of jail,
Right.
as Jeremy said. But honestly, I mean, just through that COVID thing, and every week you add so much value to these meetings. It's not just always the accounting side, it's other things you've seen in other roles. So that's what I appreciate for you.
Thank you.
20 years and more to go. I mean, you really keep everything on the ball. And if you don't know the answer, you find it. And the surprising part is you most of the time do know the answer, so you don't have to go find it.
Hey, you're still a puppy. Many years ago.
All I can say is having a retired accountant for a wife, she thinks you're the best. She's seen some of the things you do, and she's not. It's very good. I know.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for everything you do. Congratulations on 20 years. Look forward to working with you again for another 20 years.
You lost your mind.
You're lucky she didn't run out just now.
Ken,
She keeps me sharp. That's not what it means. She does. Some of the things she's done, I'm appreciative of her just in my own right. She made a very kind and accurate gesture tonight.
sure.
We just appreciate it. And you do. We make a big team, and that makes it, you know, for us to have been together 20 years, that's saying a lot. So thank you.
She told me, you gotta get in here right at the beginning. You know, like,
I was wondering, I said, I didn't tell her to move her part to the front. She had so much thought about it.
yeah, I was thinking like, what was I supposed to?
And you looked up and everybody was looking at you like,
Yeah, I'm like, Thank you very much.
You know, now on behalf of the whole town, Cheryl is invisible. Most people don't even know who she is or what she does. They have no idea of the hours that she puts in, you know. And really, you keep this place running. You need keep the blood in there.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we appreciate it.
Appreciate
I got a daughter who's on.
Anything else? Community?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. In your package recent out, you have the July 8th, 2025 regular session minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Make a motion.
Joe made a motion, Jim second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Also, the consent agenda was sent out. Any questions, comments, or concerns with the consent? The motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Steve made a motion,
I'll second.
Bruce seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda is before you as well. There are a couple of little, they're not really additions under the streets and sidewalks. Bruce got a couple quotes in, but we'll cover that if we get to it. Any other changes, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Make a motion.
Mark made a motion,
A second.
Joe second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Who's question? Sheriff's Office, Deputy Head.
For July, sees 615 calls for service, or not calls for service, but that's including something issue. 39 traffic stops. And I did see one car break-in, and I don't remember if they got in the car or they didn't. But if they did get in the car, nothing was taken. And then I think there was a few more on Facebook. Those people never called. There might have been 3 or 4, but just one report. Everything else here's just regular month.
Any questions or comments for Deputy Head? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fire and medical responses for the Henry Bridge Department for July 215. Really no new updates on the new station. I didn't even ask today, but whenever they sent me the response numbers, Wendy said, still working on the punch list for the station. So I think that's probably true, plus whatever kind of other permitting things they're working through.
We're still waiting on that.
The punch list for the interior, yeah. And maybe some permitting with Indian Trail as well, town of Indian Trail. All right, Finance Officer report. Sure.
Okay, we have several things. Okay, we have the July financials. That was the first month of the fiscal year. So its revenues are fairly low since some of them are being accrued into last year. And we didn't have much property tax or anything else coming in. As far as expenditures, we did pay most of our membership and dues and insurance. So those accounts, and then also we bought about half or a little more than half of our postage for the year. Before the prices went up, so we went and bought those. We also had pool management fee, and we had some expenses for event services with the 4th of July event. Anyone have any questions? The next one is the tax collection settlement for the prior year. The county collected.
Not to interrupt, but do we have that?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm looking for it myself.
It's right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, they collected $835,677.56. That included the interest costs and fees of $595. And Sheree went ahead and figured out the collection rate is 99.89%.
You almost just ready to move off my 103.
Yeah, we've got some real estate tax that, has still not been collected, so, but other than that, they did a good job the first year.
Did you hear any complaints from residents? Or concerns?
I had a couple of concerns. The biggest one just being people didn't realize that when the county bill came, that Lake Parks was in it. They didn't read their newsletter or anything to know that it was all one. So we had some calls, but otherwise it was fine.
Then we have to approve, the council has to approve the order for the county to collect this year's taxes. And,
I didn't put those totals on there. I got
yeah,
paper.
She's, you've got that, I think. We have it. Here. This is the other thing, this is the 7. Sorry. Okay.
so the general taxes is 844,431. Light list penalties, 125. Stormwater fees, 208,440. So the total is 1,052,996.95.
I went back and compared those numbers to our budget number, and they're off by a little bit to collect more. But I guess that's just.
Because we budget at 99.5 or I think %. We don't budget 100%.
They were over, so I wasn't worried about it.
Is this number 100%?
Who was
Yeah.
better at collecting taxes, you or Union County?
This would be 100% correct.
Right.
We can't quibble over.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the order of tax collection to Union County for the fiscal year 2025-2026?
I make that motion.
Jim made a motion, Mark second. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I think you probably should also do a motion to accept the tax collection settlement summary from the county.
Is there a motion to approve the tax collection summary?
Motion.
Joe made a motion, Bruce seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Joe
So he
votes.
made Joe.
Thank you, Sharon. Any moves?
Then there's creation of nuisance abatement expense budget line item, and don't really know
The,
a lot about that.
yeah, and all that, in talking with Ken and Joe and Sheree, there was a possibility of a nuisance abatement coming to fruition this month. That has been subsided at this point in time. But there's a couple other letters that are out that could turn into nuisance abatement. So Ken has suggested that we don't have anywhere to spend that money from. So we need to create a line item in the budget and then move a little bit of money into it, probably like $1,000 or something, just to have the line item there to be able to approve an expense if we do have to do a nuisance abatement of any sort. Right now, it mostly would revolve around sidewalks and whatnot. As we go further with the nuisance ordinance or whatever happens with that, I mean, it could get larger than that, but we just have to address that when the time comes.
Gotta add that this is for the existing ordinances. This has nothing to do with our later conversation of our nuisance ordinance. This is what we've already had in there for abatement.
Cheryl had recommended, you sent by email where you thought we should put it, but I don't remember what you told me.
Somewhere under the public services safety, I think a line item there, nuisance abatement expense.
That's what it's for. So I'll make the motion to make the line item for nuisance abatement under safety. And then I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Joe made a motion, Steve seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I'll make a motion to move $1,000 from fund balance to the nuisance abatement line item.
Second that as well.
Joe and Steve, any discussion on that? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries.
Next thing we have is the audit contract for the year that just ended, and I got that from the auditor. The amount is $5,220, which is the same amount as last year. We would need a motion to approve the audit contract.
Make a motion to approve the audit contract.
Jim made a motion, Bruce second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We already have the money in that line item, right?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think I put in a little bit more, so. The next one is discussion of refund policy and delegation. There was a Park and Rec approved pool
Pool
refund, and that's fine. And I need to find my finance book. I think I have one at home. I think we have one here. But I'm pretty sure it says that whenever you refund money from a revenue account, that council's supposed to approve it. And I imagine it could be delegated if council wanted to approve it. So for that, and also then at the same time, on our refunds, we had a couple of facility rentals where people had paid for a rental and a deposit. And those came up for refunding. So I just thought it would be real clear if council would decide either they want to see all the refunds, or if they want to delegate it, like, should we approve the refunds, or what you want to do.
That's pretty much what we do right now when it comes to the rental room deposits, isn't it? We don't have to bring those up to
For
council.
the refundable security deposits, yes, sir, that's exactly what we do. But we've also had recently some people that they thought they were gonna need 6 hours, which our rental policy is 4, and so they overpaid and they ended up only using like 4 hours. So as it stands right now, Cheryl wouldn't let me refund their $40 until we have a policy.
As I recall it, the deposit doesn't go into a revenue account, so
Right.
there's
So
no
therefore,
problem
okay.
with that.
Yeah.
But when something comes into a revenue, like the pool membership
Or
or
facility rental.
a facility or whatever.
I know we've always done it for tax refunds.
Council's always
approves
We've
done
always
that.
approved that.
And we had recently, when we started consent agenda, we moved the tax refunds to the consent agenda
Right.
with the person's name and the parcel number and all that.
Being that way, I see no reason why we really have to change it.
As long as it's okay for,
Do you wanna do a motion of some sort to say that there's up to
I'll say,
$200 staff and
yeah, I'll put a motion that says that it's $200.
can we make it 300? And the only reason for that
I'll put
is,
1,000.
no, the only reason for that is if it's a non-resident, and for 4 hours, it's $200. So if they've paid for any additional hours, that's gonna put it over the
Right, So we'll make
$200.
it up to $300. That the clerk, administrative clerk, has the right to just refund that money without the council approval.
Motion on second.
Jim made a motion, Joe seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then the last item is the sales tax expense. And I've been charging sales tax to the line items. So far this year, we've charged $154, and some of it was events since we had the 4th of July event. A little bit to office, some to park maintenance. I think that one fountain contract is gonna be like $20 a month. And some miscellaneous town halls and street signs. So, I am doing that. If you see in your line item, the charge that you didn't think you were gonna have, it's probably the sales tax. I don't think right now we need to move money right now,
Just wait till the end, towards the end of the year, or if we start getting close.
or maybe, every quarter or every 6 months, yeah.
How often you
And
get the
some
sales
accounts-
tax back?
Once a year, and it won't come back until a year from now. Some accounts, like right now, office, it was, it's like $1, and it'll be like $1 a month, maybe more, but, some accounts probably won't even need a budget amendment, but, yeah, like the park maintenance, $20 a month, and then plus whatever else comes up, it'll add up a little more. So I just wanted to let you know.
Any questions on that? Thank you, Cheryl. Anything else?
That's all.
Sheree, stormwater update on Christopher Channel?
It's raining, it's raining, it's raining. We're just, we've got to have some dry weather, and at this point, the ground is so saturated, it's gonna take, we need a solid at least week to 10 days before they can even get back in that channel, so we're just on hold. I did update all of the 811 tickets today, just trying to be prepared and keeping those active, so when the weather does change, there's nothing to prevent. We don't have to wait for 811 to come back, so we're just renewing until the work is done. So,
We'll need to approve the $10,000,
yes,
$10,500 contract amendment for that.
we also, last month, we came to council with a price. Not knowing, we were meeting with the engineer the day or two after council. And after Kevin and Matt and I met, and they did some more engineering drawings on that culvert down right at Queens. We are going to, and based on some rain, which we just weren't sure if we were gonna have to, we have the riprap that's in good shape, and we're going to relocate it further up the channel to prevent some washing and all. We're looking at an additional cost to do that of $10,500. And that's the reason though, you know, we were trying to get a do not exceed, but, and based on the price Kevin originally gave us for the do not exceed, it did not include some additional work that Eagle felt like we needed to do based on some of the recent rain that we'd had, and we could see some drainage around the channel that they were concerned about. The culverts.
Questions on that?
I think we kind of mentioned that might be the case at that time, didn't we?
Right.
I'm not sure. We had hoped to be there, but
We still haven't
Matt,
been.
Matt was out of town and he did it from his previous drawing.
Yeah.
And from, then he went out 2 days later.
Well, I'll make the motion to increase the not to exceed for the Christopher Channel repairs by $10,500 to $93,000.
I'll second.
Joe made a motion, we seconded it. One discussion I've got, we still have enough money in that account for that, for right now. Okay.
We've made a little note for
Right.
each of the stormwater accounts, just that they get so complicated, and yes. We
Joe
had,
made a motion, Bruce second, I'm sorry, go ahead.
we had 93 available, now we'll have eight, you know, a little less than 83 available.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Stormwater grant, Sheree.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, we did not get any money, but
You try.
we tried, and we're continuing to look for money. It's just that FEMA's requiring you to be able to, one of the things for points is you've got to be able to show that it's tied to a natural disaster. Unfortunately, ours are maintenance. It's not, you know, we can't say, oh, well, Helene did this or Fran did that, or, you know, whatever. And so that's a lot of points on the system when they're rating the projects. And
We're spending a bunch of money, but we're blessed to be able to not say Helene washed
right,
out 2/3 of the village or whatever, you know, I mean, honestly.
but we're also, and I'm not saying Western North Carolina doesn't need it, but it's very misleading the way we went down the path to get to the point to where they're like, oh, well, you know, if you can't tie it to a natural disaster, then that's gonna disqualify you.
It would have been nice if they told you that in the very beginning.
Yes, sir, because there was a lot of time and energy that went into that,
Put a lot into it.
Maybe they just changed it back to the wrong
Yeah.
process, because.
A lot's changed recently.
Look at how many disasters we've had.
Right, absolutely,
It's good experience too, for, especially with
it
with
is.
Sarah coming on and in the future of the village, you know, if she stays long term, you know, to have had a taste of applying for a grant and working for it too. But we appreciate the hard work. I know there were days that you came in early for Zoom meetings and late for Zoom meetings and all that for us. Any questions on that?
We have received exhibits for the projects, and we'll be sending out the information to, we're gonna do it, not limiting it to, but there's quite a few people in Union County, local, that we're going to reach out to. In a perfect world, I would like to be here at the September meeting with at least 3 quotes for these projects. It's not gonna be from Leica Trying, so we're gonna start local, and then if we need to branch out a little further, I just know for them to bring all the equipment in and mobilize and everything, the further out you are, that mobilization fee goes up substantially. So we will be working on those as we move forward.
One of these on the top 5 could likely probably will change. That number 5, the newest information looks like that might be a private piece of storm drain, not ours. So if that's the case, it will swap that out with
Right.
whatever.
We have the, in May, we did an exhibit on what was considered the absolute, it's in the Greenway, but it's off of Lincoln, going toward Alden Pond. And we have that exhibit, so I'm also putting that out to bid. I know it's not in the roadway, but one of the concern, even though it's not in the roadway, that's common property, and that's property that we just don't need someone stepping out there and falling in. So we will be getting that one quoted. The church ties into the village, so they received permission when the school was built. Originally, it was a school, and Mr. Matheson developed that project. And he gave them, I don't know, I can't find any documentation where it was asked. There may have been, but I just haven't found anything. But anyway, it ties into Connie's Pond. And, but all indications are it starts in their parking lot. It's not tied to the alley, Joshua Alley back here. That actually runs in front where the cul-de-sac, where it turns around on the church property, is where that drains. It actually goes down and then takes a right into that back parking lot and then comes across to Connie's Pond. And this particular piece in the front yard is freestanding. So based on that, that would be considered private property, but apparently he allowed them to tie into Connie's Pond to drain that. So that's how it was mapped, because there is a drain at the street. And so, you know, initially we all thought that that was ours, but because it starts on private property,
It's not catching.
it's not catching any public water. So we will be having some conversations with the church.
General question. We got the mapping program so that we
Yes,
could
sir.
detect things that really needed some urgent stuff. Now, these 5 would be considered the top areas that
Yes,
we're gonna address. All 5 of these will result in the mapping system that we have. we would not have known of any of these by without the system. Is that a correct statement?
That is a true statement.
We would have just had to wait for something.
Eventually, we would know. yes,
Eventually,
Yeah.
we would know, but
When there's a problem.
There's been a lot worse.
Any questions on any of that? Park and Recreation, update on the pool financials, the membership revenue for the current pool season, 74,775. Walk-up revenue for the current season, 17,629, no major issues. And we sold 44 of the swim team only access passes for an income of $2,200. I forwarded out the feedback from the swim team, with their appreciation for the swim team access only pass and their desire to continue it if we can. So we'll talk about that in the coming months, but I thought it was good. The piece of information I sent out, I thought had a good story behind it to have allowed that first.
At this point, is that about even what we were last year, as far as revenue from the pool?
Membership,
Seems like it's.
well, see, you're crossing two budget years, so this is just pool season.
Oh,
So we really won't know until we
Yeah.
get towards the end of the budget cycle to know, but I think we're right on track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seems
it appears to be, maybe up to that, but right on track. The water leak out here at the community center, we've been watching the water bills and the pavement out there, and there's been nothing crazy, so once the pool closes, we probably will do some excavation there at that corner to see what's going on and try to make a repair, just keep me updated on that. Girls on the Run has requested April 25th, 2026 for the day of their run that Saturday. Park and Rec has approved the date, but we need council to approve the road closures.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Steve made a
Close the
motion to
date.
close the road, April 26th, Mark seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Quick update on National Night Out. At this point, looks like we made a good move by moving off of the August date because of the rain this past week, or last week. Couple things Park and Rec discussed. Several communities across North Carolina, at least one locally, Monroe, has went away from the National Night Out theme to their town night out. So it's Monroe Night Out. I think Smithfield is one I saw, Smithfield Night Out. And I don't know the reasons for all of them, why they did it, but I know that one of the main reasons is if you use the word National Night Out in your town, you are technically supposed to purchase the National Night Out marketing material, and you're supposed to get on board with them and you pay a fee. I think it's $450 or $500. I don't know what it's going to be this year. You have to use their banners, and they're throwaway banners that have that date on it. You can't reuse the banner. You have to sign an agreement to go buy banners every year. So it's $450 plus your banner cost. So anyway, Park and Rec discussed it and agreed to just rename ours to Lake Park Night Out. And we had last year moved to the first Tuesday in October. That worked very well because the weather is so hot in August, but it's also more unpredictable. One of the lessons we learned was we needed to back the time up a little bit or have some light towers out there. So be some additional expense with it this year. But we voted to officially move it to the first Tuesday of October as well, just a piece of information. And then we're seeking approval for Kiker Tree Service for $1,900. The trees behind the sign that says North Gate at Conifer and Faith Church Road, if you're coming in from Secret Shortcut, if you were to turn right on Conifer, like you're gonna go to Jim's house, if you look at the trees behind the corner brick wall there, two of the, I don't know if they're Lelands or cedars, but two of them are dead and falling. And the other two, take out just the ones that are dead, it's gonna look, there's no way to make it look right. So Will went up there after our Park and Rec meeting and called us back. We were actually still here talking about some other stuff and said they need to all come out. The others are diseased from the whatever killed the other ones probably anyway. So $1,900 to take those out and get the ground prepped with cutting out the stumps so that we can plant something back in the fall behind that wall. That's what you're gonna see there. Those are huge trees, so you're likely gonna see some chatter on Facebook when that tree that big comes down. But they're sick, two are dead and the others are sick, and just to make it look right. We're asking for approval of $1,900 to Kiker Tree.
a motion to approve $1,900 for tree removal.
Tree removal.
Tree removal.
Jim's made a motion,
That's second.
Bruce second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Our next meeting is August 25th, we'll be talking about, just ongoing things, routine items, working on our, quadrant reports to get ready for fall plantings. Planning board, Steve?
Yeah, so we did have a planning board meeting in July. I think we pretty much nailed down the topic around the storm drainage easement. I think that's ready. They worked through some wording on that, the reasonability and consistency statement, all that's ready to be presented. They're holding off for that from the standpoint of trying to get through the language for the pool, spa, and hot tubs they want to work through. So I want to make sure they're not really micromanaging that and make sure they're getting the right information on that. So there was some wordsmithing they wanted to do on that, and we left the meeting with that open. So, and the next meeting's August 19th.
All right, any questions, Steve, on planning board? Yes, question, Jim?
So as you see here, that the waste collection calendar for the fiscal year was put out, it was attached to the newsletter and sent out to everybody. Go up to the next slide. So just put a number, it's number of complaints, that's the title, but it's not always complaints. So we've had it go across there, there's basically been 158 total for from October through July. And of those numbers that you have in each monthly, the totals come up to basically for notification of bulk or white goods has been 19. The bulk of these really is broken, missing cards, new replacement cards, new people with needs cards. Those were 117. There were 6 over this whole time period for missed pickup. And then was 16 left that are basically others, special events, supervisor call-in or something of that nature. So those are just miscellaneous. But I just wanted to let you know how that's going graphing with, I'm gonna keep it up on a monthly basis and get it so we can get some trending and better understanding of some things. Where they went. Next slide. So this next slide is just giving you a report of our waste. As you can see, the blue is solid waste, the orange is recycling, and the green is yard waste. You can see the green is out doing our recycling. But we have enough. I'm going to try to get some information if I can from other towns around our size, just to see how we're doing versus some others, just to get some notifications going out. Maybe we should put something in the newsletter to increase recycling. Don't forget this is where it is with the link inside there of where they can get what they can recycle. Keeping our our yard waste going to the right proper lengths and everything. So that's all. Just a note of where we're doing now, what's going on.
I think it'll be interesting to see a couple year-over-year comparisons, like on recycle, the amount we pay for recycle.
Right.
Is it continuing to trend down? Is there, I'm not saying we cut it out, I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I get it. This is the
Discussion.
first. I wanted to get what council thought and, try to dig. I can get back and dig
Yeah,
some
no, I
information from the backside.
Good information. Any questions, Jim?
No.
Thank you.
What about the tonnage in this, like, you got Labor Day weekend, it pops up, you got Christmas, New Year's, it pops up. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the holidays are too. You can have summer Memorial weekend.
If June's got people on vacation, so it goes down so much.
Yeah.
I was glad to hear that the complaints are mostly requests.
Right.
Sound like general requests, because
Yes.
I didn't know that. So.
Yeah.
Good information. Thank you, Jim. Streets and sidewalks, Bruce?
Okay, have an issue over by Churchill Pond, the sidewalk, about 18 panels that are cracked. Kind of who's responsible for it. Basic Concepts stepped in and said, okay, I'll take responsibility for it, although he does not believe all of it was for his equipment problems going over the sidewalks. So he's given us a very good price on replacing those panels, much less than what he normally charges, which we need 6,750 approved to do that. I guess that goes against streets and sidewalks.
You got, we built some sidewalk budget, right, Cheryl? 20,000 something.
25,000.
You making, is that a motion?
Make a motion to take that from the street and sidewalk budget, $6,750. It's 18 panels in total.
Bruce made a motion,
Second.
Joe second, any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries.
The other issue that we've been dealing with both on Meeting Street and Fresh Circle on the business side of the street of how vehicles are being parked and left overnight that should not be there, especially vans of sort, commercial vans or vans that have regular plates on. So, been talking with a couple of people on council. I think it's a good idea if we put no parking signs as indicated in the two examples there. On the fresh side of the business district, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive to put those in because they have to go through the concrete to set the posts. The ones on Meeting Street have then worked out where they'll be on the ground side, not on the concrete side. And that would hopefully take care of the issues we're seeing more and more of with vehicles parked overnight that shouldn't be parked there. So I'm not sure if this would come against streets and sidewalks, but I guess it would, so I need approval for $950 to take care of that.
Would be from street signs.
Yes.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Bruce made a motion, $950 for fast signs for 4 signs. Second, Mark second, any discussion?
How many signs were put up?
We've actually 4, 2 on Meeting and 2 on Cruft, but the ones on Cruft will be on the same side of the street. The ones on Meeting Street will be on the opposite sides.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you, putting them on the grass on the one side of Meeting Street?
Why not?
Isn't it concrete all the way there when you turn in? Is there a grass strip there?
Well, where the stores are, yes, that's concrete, but I'm gonna put it on the opposite side.
That's against
On the
traffic
park
though,
side.
isn't it?
People otherwise, they can't see a red sign that says no parking. I mean,
I was just wondering,
if you
yeah.
follow my logic, you know, I'm just trying to keep the expense down a little bit, because having to go through concrete. 2 signs is expensive enough. I know on the one end of Meeting Street, it's pretty much ground all the way. I know on this end of Meeting Street, it isn't, but.
Okay, I didn't realize you were doing it against traffic, I was wondering.
Yeah, I figured, it's not a highly traveled road, so. Red signs, P and a slash, I mean, I would think. You know, unless Stevie Wonder is trying to park a vehicle, we should be okay.
I think the ones that are the biggest problem probably come around the circle and go that way and see that sign that way anyway, so.
I mean,
Headland wrote a warning ticket up there. I think part of the concern was him not being parked. So I don't think the guy complained. Did he come down here?
No.
But that was kind of what spawned this. Does it have to be one? I don't know what the actual law is. It has to be marked for a traffic violation or whatever.
You know, it was in the newsletter. The last newsletter, you had something about this, the new ordinance, no parking on Meeting
Yeah.
Street and Craft.
Right.
So we put it there. We've started issuing violations when, you know, the deputies are here and all, they're issuing violations. But if you don't live here,
personally, I think that's where a lot of these commercial vehicles are coming from.
and that's what, yes, so that's why I think that's a very,
Somebody found a good place, hey, you can park your vehicle over there and nobody's gonna bother you.
or.
Yeah, a number of the vehicles have been parking there lately, or have found out and are no longer. parking.
Right.
But we still have the Ram, there's a couple of Ram vans, white Ram vans oversized that
They're
end
on
up over there
Craft.
all the time.
The yellow house on Craft basically is one of them. At least one. And he's parking in front of himself.
All right, thank you, Bruce.
No problem.
Joe?
Did we vote on that?
I think so.
I just made the.
Oh, maybe we just.
We made a motion in second, we didn't actually vote on this.
There was somebody, there were a motion and a second, right?
Yes,
And all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
We tried.
Lighting, we're starting to have some street lights going out. Change of weather always does that. We have a lot of them. If anybody hears of anybody that has anything, please let them email me. I've been extremely busy at work and it'll go 3-4 days on Facebook. Somebody tags me on that and I had somebody send me a message because I didn't reply to the tags. I didn't know it was on there.
Yeah.
So the most efficient way to get me is to email me on that or even leave a message on our voicemail.
Yeah, I had sent a complaining about a pole being out right across my house at the corner there where the condo building is. And I put one into the electric company and they never responded. I brought it up, and you put in one and they haven't responded. And I put in another one and it's still.
That's one of the ones that Brad has
That's
talked
the
with us
one
about.
that Brad,
We have a wiring issue with that they're working on. I should have sent you that. I forgot. There is a wiring issue there.
Joe, the one across from Miss Wing's house down there by the park, the whole top of it's falling off.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay.
So the one right out here was on mine.
Joe.Scaldera@lakepark.city.gov.
I have a picture of it and with the number
If you
on
can send it to me, I
I-
won't remember all these things, so.
I thought
Yeah,
they fixed it,
no,
cause I saw it on the other night. So I
Yeah.
thought, they finally got that?
No, I was
Coming
walking
good.
by and it popped on and it was working by further than went off. I took a picture of it.
It's very helpful.
You
to
walk by
know
it,
that
well,
too.
you suck all the energy out of it.
Yeah.
If you do know that the light comes on and off, it's very helpful to know that, because I will tell them that. Because sometimes they go out and check it, it's working, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll shake it. sometimes.
Anytime, well, I don't know, I recommend that on something.
No, not a hard shake, but just.
But it is,
But I mean,
That's what happens with
I
pole over
smacked
here.
it.
just don't do that, please.
I have it in the lesson.
Okay, thank you.
All right, order to you, Joe.
All right, everybody ready? I got a little presentation here. Should only take much more than an hour. Okay, well, as you know, the ordinance review committee has been working on a nuisance ordinance for quite some time here, and we've delivered an ordinance that everybody received in their email. And I've got a little presentation I want to go through. We've got about 5 slides here, so it shouldn't take a few minutes to go over it. If you have any questions, keep them wait to the end, because some things are answered a little bit more in depth as we go through. So, no further ado, we'll get started with this. Before we dive into the details of the ordinance, let's talk about the purpose and some of the important definitions. First, this ordinance makes nuisance conditions unlawful. In other words, if a property is unsafe, unsightly, or harmful to the community, the law says it must be addressed. The goal is to protect the health, safety, and property values of everyone in the community. This isn't just about aesthetics, it is about preventing hazards, deterring crime, and keeping neighborhoods livable. A nuisance can be many things: a property in disrepair, an unsafe structure or condition that could harm people or the environment. We also have the term chronic violator. This is someone who commits 3 or more violations in a single year. Chronic violators face stricter enforcement and higher penalties because their repeated offense causes ongoing problems. More about chronic violators later. Lastly, the ordinance specifically addresses abandoned, junked, and nuisance vehicles. Things like inoperable cars left in yards or streets, which can create safety hazards, attract vermin, and hurt property values. Next slide. This slide gives us real-world examples of what the ordinance considers as a public nuisance. First, weeds over 18 inches tall. This isn't just about looking neat. Overgrown vegetation can harbor pests, block sidewalks, and even become a fire hazard in dry weather. We don't know anything about that right now. Next, accumulated trash or furniture outdoors. Things like broken couches, old mattresses, or piles of garbage left outside. These create eyesores, attract rodents, and can lower the value of nearby properties. We also have hazardous and combustible materials. For example, flammable liquids stored unsafely or dangerous chemicals left where they could harm people or the environment. Another example is burned or dilapidated buildings. These are dangerous, and not only because they can collapse, but also invite vandalism and trespassing. Then there's standing water, pet waste, and pest infestation. These are all public health concerns. Standing water breeds mosquitoes, pet waste spreads disease, and pest infestation can spread quickly to neighboring homes. Finally, junked or unsafe vehicles, cars, and trucks that don't run, are missing major parts, or simply abandoned. These can leak hazardous fluids, attract vermin, and create unsafe conditions. Bottom line, if it's unsafe, unsanitary, or unsightly, and it impacts the community, it can be classified as a public nuisance under this ordinance. This slide explains how the ordinance is enforced once a violation is found. When a nuisance is identified, the property owner receives a 10-day written notice to correct the problem. This is a chance to fix the issue voluntarily before further action is taken. For chronic violators, those with 3 or more violations in the previous year, the process is stricter. They receive only 1 notice per year, and any subsequent violation can trigger immediate enforcement without further warning. If the property owner does not act, the village has the authority to step in, fix the problem itself, and then charge the owner for the cost. Those costs can even be placed as a lien on the property, meaning they must be paid before the property can be sold or refinanced. Lastly, it is important to know that each day of the violation continues to count as a separate offense. That means the fines and penalties can go up quickly, which is a strong incentive for the property to comply as soon as possible. In short, the ordinance gives people a fair chance to correct the problem, but it also has teeth for those that ignore the rules. This slide focuses on how the ordinance deals specifically with vehicles. First, the term junked vehicles is defined as one that is inoperable, unregistered, and of low value. This could be a car that doesn't run, has expired tags, or isn't worth repairing. The ordinance does allow 1 junked vehicle on a property, but there are conditions. It must be fully concealed from public view, for example, stored in a garage or behind a solid fence, and it can't remain in that state for more than 60 days. If a junk vehicle or nuisance vehicle remains in violation after proper notice, the village has the authority to tow it away. Owners aren't left without options. They are entitled to appeal the decision or reclaim the vehicle after towing, provided they pay the related costs and meet the ordinance requirements. This section ensures that abandoned or unsightly vehicles don't sit indefinitely, creating hazards regarding neighborhood appearance, while still giving owners a fair process to address the situation. This slide covers the legal fine print that supports the nuisance ordinance. First, if a property owner doesn't pay the cost for the village to clean up a nuisance, those costs don't just go away. They become a lien on the property, which means the village can recover the money when the property is sold or transferred. Second, both the village and its authorized agents are protected from civil and criminal liability when acting in good faith to enforce the ordinance. This ensures staff can do their job without fear of personal legal consequences. Third, there are clear expectations. The rules do not apply to nuisance conditions located inside enclosed buildings that are not open to the public. Finally, the ordinance does not replace or limit legal tools the village may use. If another law or regulation applies, the village still has the rights to act under those provisions as well. Any questions from council or staff?
Got one small question.
Sure.
The vehicle has to be behind the fence. That's really not gonna work as in the village because.
Not really many fences that could be. There are a few,
Yeah.
but there's not really many fences, yes.
That's
That
what I
is
kinda
correct.
was wondering about.
There are still a few that are out there that I guess were from before times that are 6 foot in solid wood,
You mean if someone parked a vehicle in their backyard,
somewhere that was not viewable from anywhere else.
then how are you gonna, if it's complaint driven, how are you gonna know it's there?
That's an exception for the one that is in there. You can have one vehicle that's back behind there. If you're saying if there's more than one vehicle and you can't see it, then nobody can. That's the exception. That's where you are allowed the one vehicle for 60 days.
Okay,
So, I mean, there's not too many areas that can't be seen. Really, garage is the main thing. Where you'd have to keep it. And if it was in the garage and closed, nobody would ever know anyway. So that wouldn't be really an issue. More the problem is when they're parked in driveways or,
in the
in an open
backyard.
area or in the backyard that can be seen. We did have one person at one time that was parking a car on the rear patio. Not sure why.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Will this, and this is as much a Ken question as an ordinance review question. So Lake Park, the main road on Carroll has a vehicle that, I don't know when or how it was determined that they could park in the back of their lot, because it would in theory be in the NCDOT right of way is where that vehicle is parked. Is that going to be a violation?
Well, is that Lake Park property there, or is that within Lake Park limits?
Well, Lake Park maintains.
Oh, does it maintain, do we maintain up that far? I
Well,
thought we only went,
we don't we maintain right up next to that driveway. And I guess I would say if the property says it can only have one driveway on it, how can you have a driveway out the back?
That would be the question I would imagine, probably more for Ken, is that, do we have any enforcement in that? Now, is that an inoperable vehicle? I know what you're talking about. It looks like an old vehicle, but it does move at times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not being inoperable, I don't know that that would apply to anything in that. If it is a safety hazard of some way, we could use, and if we had to do something about it, we could use the general statute nuisance. Because then we have jurisdiction within a mile of Lake Park. Anything that's in the immediate area, we can actually,
Yeah.
still work off of.
I just didn't know, because I know, that's an NCDOT road, so one of the questions would be, I would assume, and this is totally an assumption, that the fence is on the property line, in which case then they've got to be on the right of way. If the fence is inside the property line, then they're on.
It could be on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know where the property line is there on that house. And I would assume where the property line is also the village limits too.
Yes,
So I don't know what we would be able to do on that. I would imagine that somewhere there is something that we have in either the UDO or something that would restrict that. However, I don't know that anything this would cover that, because it's, we're only covering abandoned and junk vehicles. And like I said, I know that I see that there and not there, so it moves. I've never seen it driving down the road, and I don't know how it's, moved back and forth, but my general assumption would be that it does.
and the
So,
only reason I'm even asking is because I can see, I've had a couple of calls on it anyway, and I could see with this ordinance, someone expecting us to address that, so
I
just
don't
bring
think
that
we
to
have
your
anything in
attention.
here that would be able to work with that. to be honest with you.
not in this ordinance, but I mean, I'm thinking we have it in the parks. I don't know.
I don't think it's common area.
Yeah,
it's not.
I think that's, yeah,
It's ours.
yeah. That would be up to, is that state road there, or is
Yeah,
that
it would be
actually?
NCDOT.
Yeah, then
Well,
that,
actually, yes, it's NCDOT right there.
I know there's so many parts
Because
of
then you
that.
go
Yeah,
up,
it's like
because
a
you have to
handy
get to the
bridge.
stop sign for it to be, from the stop sign to Third is Indian Trails.
I don't know
The
that.
other side of the street is Henry Bridge.
Well, that's
You used to have a trail
NCDOT.
right there.
Mhm.
Trail.
I'm more irritated by that mailbox that sticks out, that when somebody's coming the other way, I was worried that my mirror was gonna hit.
Yeah.
God, that thing is close to the road.
It's just that because I've had a couple of concerns, I just didn't know.
Sure, yeah, I don't think we have anything to cover that. Now, what I will say in addition to everything is this ordinance has been sent over to Ken. He hasn't had a chance to review it yet. There may be some changes. And we did ask him to come up with some wording for it. We are going to be complaint driven enforcement. We're not going out looking for violations. When we have complaints, then we will follow through with the complaints. So that's some wording that we're going to do that to change the ordinance that you guys have received in the email. So that will be different.
Do you have to reveal who that person is that complains?
Know that you have to, do you, Karen?
Because,
When we went through it, if you know who it is, you have to say that you can accept anonymous.
Anonymous, okay.
complaints.
Yeah. So if somebody dropped it in the box out there,
Depends on whether or not you turned it into a public record or not.
I guess, yeah, it's.
But if somebody just put a note in the mailbox.
or if someone
No
called in
name.
and left a message with no name. I can just see
No,
people
you're
say,
right.
you know, how does that? I don't want my neighbor to know I'm complaining,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a
and
lot.
I can
of it, yeah.
appreciate that.
I've got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It says that, all the expenses can be turned into a lien. Do the expenses include legal time? Do they include registered deed time?
Our-
You know, that, all those things?
Our aspect of it, our understanding of it is yes. Yes, all expenses that are incurred from cleanup and to try to collect would be in that. Would that be correct, Kenny?
That's a good question about whether or not legal fees are included in that. I'm not sure I'm necessarily convinced of that, as it would be the actual expenses for the abatement that was engaged in. I suppose.
I'm pretty sure I read that in one of the examples that you sent me.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure, I could be incorrect on that. One of the,
the.
something with the general statute 160, there was, in there, legal fees could be
Well, like,
also, but
if we go to put, we being the town, go to put a lien on the property at the Register of Deeds office, is our time covered there and back? Or is
that might
just
be,
a cost
that
of
might be an
doing
exclusion on
business?
that, because one of the things that it did state was by doing an ordinance as opposed to using just the general nuisance abatement, by having an ordinance ourselves allows us to be able to have staff as opposed to have an attorney file for this, file a lien, and even go to court, we have to go to court for something. As opposed to, we'd actually have to sue them under the nuisance abatement, correct?
Right.
So that, I have a feeling our staff time would be able to cover. I think that would be.
I just didn't know.
So here's the thing about this, puts, Joe got me this plenty of time to look at it, but I had things coming up, but professionally, some time off that didn't allow me to get a good look at it. There's, a number of things that I would want to provide legal advice about, but I want to do it in a confidential setting, in a closed setting. I think that some things we need to talk about, just to talk about them so you're conscious of them. I probably will have some other questions that arise. And one of the things we've got, because I have reviewed it now, not as meticulously as I would have wanted to. One of the things I had questions about is there's a very large component of this related to vehicles. But we already have an ordinance related to abandoned or junk vehicles. Is this intended to replace that?
Well, the only thing that we have now that deals with vehicles is the roads and streets ordinance where we can't, parking ordinance.
Yeah, it's.
But there's nothing on personal property that we
Not
have.
have an abandoned junk vehicle. You have to talk
We've
more about the
got
car,
in the
about,
parks.
about following the regulations regarding notice and all that kind of stuff.
On streets.
Yeah, there's somewhere.
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
part of public streets.
No,
I think it's
on
on
the streets.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, we went
not
through it quite a lot. We
private
had a lot of discussion of
right,
that.
so this is related strictly to being on private
Private
property. All right, I just
Not
want to make sure I'm
private
clear about that. And there's some other questions that I have, it's no point me going over now, I want to make sure I understand it right. This is kind of a template for having a public hearing to determine the interest in such, but you're open to us tweaking the language.
Correct. I would like to
Is that
tweak it
right?
before our public hearing, and I'd like to present a public hearing at our next meeting in September. And if all goes well, ask for approval for it in our September meeting.
So I can do that, I think. How long it'll take me, I'm not exactly sure. I'll want to do it fairly early on. So I'll try to carve some time for it. Should I direct things straight to you, Judge? Should the dialogue be
I think so.
me and you
Yeah.
about that? All right, I'll do that. And I can't remember, is the format you sent us in Word?
Yes.
Or was it PDF?
Actually, I think I printed it out PDF, but I can send it to
Can you
you.
send it to me in Word
Sure.
so I can, I can do something and you can say no or yay or whatever might come with it. Because I think there's some things I think we gotta pay attention to, that I will but I will communicate in a closed setting.
So Ken, do you think we're pushing it to have it public hearing in September and then voting on it in September? You wanna have a closed session?
Well, I mean, maybe, like what I, getting older, I can't remember. Joe, have I had it longer than just the last 2 weeks?
Just about 2 weeks.
Okay, about 2 weeks, all right, okay. I thought you'd get ready to say that, yeah, Yahoo, I gave 2 or 3 months ago.
No.
That's what I was worried, that's what I was
when it came
worried
out.
about. With it being that period of time, I guess I don't want Joe to be upset with me. I think that I might need some more time. The problem is though, I'll say that in response to you, but then I'll also say to you, and this is the reality of it, I'm set right now, unless something changes, to start a 4 co-defendant homicide trial in early October. And if that trial goes with 4 co-defendants, that's gonna last 6 weeks. You know, and that's the only thing I'm gonna be doing for 6 weeks. So I'd rather jump on it on the front end early, even though I'm saying to you, yeah, time would be nice, but yet if we're gonna be able to get it done through, I gotta act on it, not drag my feet. So, is it too, I don't know how the council feels about having a public hearing, me getting with Joe and having this thing, trying to, cross the T's, dot the I's on it, but yet me still wanting to provide some thoughts about it in closed
I
session.
was just hearing closed session. part.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't think it's a good idea for me to talk to you guys about manners in which this could be addressed by violators on the open record. That's not a good idea in terms of giving legal advice to you about things. And I want to make sure I've done that. That's.
Let me ask it this way. Is there any reason, basically, you get the document ready, we're gonna need to be able to we've got to advertise and everything for that public hearing. We're gonna have to have the document ready for the public hearing so that people have an opportunity to review. So you're really crunching time to be able to do that. If you can do that, there's no reason we can't have the public hearing and then in regular session in September, go into closed session and talk about it. We wouldn't have to adopt it.
Right, that's the thing about it. That's the good thing about this. Is this isn't required. Okay, the public hearing aspect of this isn't required, but you're doing it as you typically do.
Then when we go for major change on our.
Right, you don't have to adopt it. You can wait till time after the public hearing to adopt something or to even adopt it in an amended form. That's not going to be problematic. So when is the, tell me when I thought we were doing the October council meeting? Thursday.
Second Tuesday of,
September 9th.
September.
That's in September, I meant October.
October. October's gonna be,
Something like that.
yeah,
Hold me to that, it might be that.
14th.
Okay, so that trial will be in it already. I was thinking whether or not I would have the cushion of that meeting too. Assuming it goes, you never know these things, and I'll say that next time later. So, got this trial for 3 months, yeah, I don't know.
So if I call for a public meeting now, we voted to approve that, and we end up not being prepared because we need more legal advice, can we cancel without a problem, cancel the public hearing?
I mean, you can defer it, but you have to re-advertise it again.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to do that, which you won't want to do.
Are you suggesting we need a closed session before we put a final document together?
That's what I was getting at.
I hate saying things that steal the progress of something. And we'll probably have that closed session where they will get those. I just think there's some things I need to address with
I
this.
mean, that's fine, all I'm saying is, if,
I'd rather do it right than rush into that,
Yeah.
so I'm fine with putting that on hold till October.
Can you, you don't need me to call a public hearing in October, right?
No.
But if we could, the next meeting, maybe have this tweaked up and
Then we
go
can
to
go
a closed
session
session
on
and let
that.
me talk about those things.
Absolutely.
That might be the better way to do it. Yes.
So Just going off your schedule, can we have a special closed session meeting?
You can do whatever you want.
Have that,
Sure you can.
just to take care of this. so
Sure,
we're
it doesn't really have to
pushing it.
do.
We can. I mean,
Depends on whether you deem it necessary or not.
Or there's,
Based on my current understanding of the status of things in the village right now, that's not necessary. My understanding of the status is that things are,
Well, I was thinking of this.
things have cooled, in regards to multiple circumstances. So, yeah, I think you're okay to do it that way. But again, it's on what degree of urgency you place on it.
Ken wouldn't have to be here for the October meeting if you couldn't be here.
If I could,
If you
right,
couldn't be here, you
to
don't
have a
have
public
to.
hearing.
If we do it this way, then we could, in September, we could have hopefully have, your questions, your ordinance
Right.
out, then we can go into closed session, talk about it. And then
Right.
call for the public hearing in
October.
October.
Right,
You wouldn't have to be here, and then
Right.
And
we
we
could
could
act on it
adopt,
as well.
right.
Okay, let's count on it that way.
I'm
Sorry if
sorry,
that's
one
inconvenient.
question.
Sure.
You keep talking about an administrator code enforcer.
Mhm.
Who do we have in mind for that? Tag, you're it again? All right, I just wanted.
Now, it's not somebody driving around, like I said,
No, I understand.
it's all 100%.
I understand.
So most of
complaint
it's administrative.
And honestly, it's what she's doing right now, 90% of the time, is saying, oh, there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, I just wanted to
You
be
know,
sure that's in the
so-
direction we were heading, and Sherry wasn't gonna say, okay, I
Exactly.
retired as of yesterday.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, and the second thing I just want to point out, I will not be here for the September meeting because I have surgery on the 3rd of September.
Okay.
So I don't know if that throws a wrench into anything or not, but I don't think I can make it 6 days after surgery.
If you were
Yeah,
gonna
that's.
act, you could still have a quorum.
Okay. I want to make sure that's not putting a fly in the ointment, so to speak.
Okay, so we will not call for a public hearing. We will wait to hear, for further instruction from Ken and work on, him and I will work on it together. With that being said, the next part of the slide where it says next meeting is, for the ordinance review committee is August 18th. I'm gonna, cancel that meeting because we decided that we are not doing anything else until this is done. So,
When would you, okay, if you did that, the September meeting here is the 9th. Would your ordinance committee meeting be after that?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, we did that on purpose. It's on the third Monday so that we would be able to act after what the council did.
Are you concerned at all that me coming in and rummaging through this with potential changes might cause your ordinance committee members to have their own questions about, what I'm doing?
That's- That way, in our September, we can have a September ordinance review committee meeting.
Okay,
And
okay.
then we can go over that and see if there's any changes that bring the council. So
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I think that timeframe will work fine.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
At the top of page 5, it says the lien upon the property shall be collected as unpaid taxes. Is that something we need to talk to Union County about?
Well, that's part of, that's one of the things that's one of the areas I want to look at in regards to how that's phrased.
It is raised in current legislation, so.
It may very well be, I want to confirm that, but yes, I think generally, Cheryl, the answer is yes.
And then also on page 8, towards the bottom, I just wonder, it says each, if the owner fails to comply with the notice within 10 days, they shall be subject to prosecution. And each day that such failure continues shall be a separate offense. I know, like in Wesley Chapel, we had a fee each day, but what happens
But each
what is the
individual,
impact of it?
well,
day
each
being a separate
individual
offense?
violation, the impact of that is turning it into a chronic violator, which once you have if you have three chronic violators in the previous year, kind of one of the reasons to get this done before this year, but
Right.
in the previous calendar year, the next year, you get one violation, you get a letter, after that, we just act on it. So if we have
So
somebody
if
that's abusing
somebody
it,
is 3 days late, then they're a chronic violator.
if they don't take care of it.
Yeah.
Each one of the violations, now that's up to being reported. Now, you gotta remember, it would have to be reported 3 times still.
Oh.
Because we're not gonna be enforcing it, correct? Or are you gonna go by and check it after it's been,
I mean, wouldn't you have to?
if you're gonna check it, then yeah, each day would be, Would be another
Otherwise,
violation.
you wouldn't have an each day.
You gotta wanna look at it.
Yeah. Which gets back to,
Which then leads me, there's a lot of questions I can ask.
The reason why we don't have a fine in it, though. we
That's
haven't
one of my
set any fines,
questions.
Is because of the, we have to have the appeal process set up. You know, it's a whole different, when you start talking monetary, it's a whole different game. How you
I
have
was
to set it up.
wondering, all in all, do you not have to have any field processes?
The only thing we have listed in there on the appeal process is on the, if a vehicle is towed away.
Right.
And we gotta look at that to see if our current, anything we have currently is for that, of what the appeal process is. I know you two have run an appeal together. So we gotta find where our policy is on that. That was one of the things that we discussed.
we did.
It was 20 years ago.
Well, it just about was.
But we still pass the resolution.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we're already set on the policy for that.
Yeah, it'll,
But-
it's gonna work, yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with some language again, just that.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's similar to eminent domain in that we're enacting a ordinance that you either follow or you don't, and in eminent
Start
domain, you
talking
don't
about
have.
summary abatements, I start becoming
I-
concerned.
I agree. I mean, I understand, but.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely wanna make sure it's right, so we're taking action.
Right, right. So I'm probably gonna qualify you a little bit, we'll see. I think we'll feel better, we'll see. It went right, yeah. Sometimes you're required to be nice. Then.
Yes.
There is some reason that these laws exist, that's what I'll say, and there's obviously,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
a
They
time
are,
and a place to
right, and they
enforce
tend,
them.
and they tend to be oriented around what I'm gonna use the word imminent problems for the health and safety and welfare of citizens.
And to be devil's advocate, but like on the 18-inch weeds, with the weather we're having these days, if somebody's grass has gotten tall and they need to do it and they can't do it within 3 days.
Well, there is some common sense.
Well, that's, what are the,
But it's complaint driven.
what can you forgive and not forgive, because then you get, well, you let them do it, but you don't let, give up. You get into a lot.
The villages at the moment is at 18 inches.
An area we haven't been down, that obviously there's a reason to go down it, and we
Yeah.
want it to be right, for sure.
And that's another thing I can tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you in closed session, I don't think there's any way to get this right. It's a very murky, area that has different things that can bite. And I think getting it perfect is, very, very difficult. if not impossible.
But it's a
You try to do
living
best.
document.
We don't
We
live
try
in,
to do best.
right, that's all you can do. All right, sit there, technology.
Just the same old thing, there's still empty or, listen to voicemails of some people. Need your email or password for voicemail reset, let me know. I will send you the link for it.
Does it at some point, like on
You
your
get
cell phone, does it quit recording them and sending them to you?
You'll read your voicemail or you'll have your message and it said, this voicemail box is full.
I wondered if it,
Try yourself.
I empty mine every day, but I just wondered.
A lot of people don't empty the voicemail, not because they're not listening to it, but because they get the email that dictates it. You just read the email and you just don't even pay attention to the voicemail.
And you're done and you move on,
So,
yeah.
so that's just your friendly reminder, check it and clear, because eventually you'll stop getting.
Written there on lemons.
I will say, I was out yesterday in the pouring rain and last week looking, the landings, DRB, the group that's over there managing has done a really nice job. All the check dams and everything were keeping, we did not have any muddy water flowing across Faith Church Road or Indian Trail Unionville Road, where further down Faith Church Road, another municipality with a project that's under construction had just rivers of red mud running across. So I will say they've done a very nice job with their erosion control and so far. So that's good to see. And so I will also, if you see anyone, no one should be on the project site before 7 a.m. and after 6 p.m. So if you see someone out there, if they deciding they're doing illegal dumping or there's a group out there, just call 911 and report it. And the deputies can take care of that, or, whether it's our deputies or anybody else, because no one's supposed to be on the job site, and they have had some illegal dumping over there.
Mark?
Well, first of all, regarding stuff for this next month in the Villager, I'm pretty well set because I'm going to do the political tell me about yourself type stuff. So that's going to take up 3/4 of the whole thing. So if there's anything really small, fairly small and important, let me know. That's what I have on that. As far as the homeowner association goes, I have nothing this month on it. When is there anything going on with the HOA that's pretty exciting right now this month?
Really, good news, nothing exciting.
All right. So, yeah, that's about all I got.
Come up with anything for the newsletter, get it to them. When are you gonna, when are you?
I'm gonna say the 26th, 2 weeks from today is when I need your little verbiage. And I gotta somehow contact Roger, so I guess I'll have to go over there. I don't have an email. Do you have an email?
I do have an email.
Oh, give me an email. I'll send it over.
If you look at the email I sent out about this meeting, his email's on there.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
So you're good? And you do have hopefully you'll have a little bit of room to be able to put the garden club kicks off the month of September, and yada, yada, yada.
Steve?
Sure. Thank you guys for attending, as always. We'd like to see a few people out there. It's always great. Cheryl, again, thank you for your 20 years. And thanks to all these guys sitting here beside me for everything they've been doing here the last few months. It's been a lot of work.
Not much, just everybody's doing a heck of a job, Cheryl. Keep those flowers coming. All right. Thanks, folks, for being here, and I'll see you in October, I guess.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jim?
I'll echo what we just said. Thank you for everything, and have a safe Memorial Day.
Labor Day?
Labor Day, yes.
That good?
He was just testing this year.
He was looking forward to May.
Yes.
This was a test.
Mark?
Same as what everybody else has said, special thank you once again. Congratulations. And thank you all for being here.
Cheryl, once again, thank you for all you do. It's very appreciative. I know it goes unshown a lot, but we very much appreciate what you did. One thing I did forget to say back when I was talking about the ordinance, I got to thank John Corzine and Sarah Orr for the help. They did a lot of work on that to help put that together. And, on top of also Steve Tudor and Jim Record on it, they also worked a lot with it. They did a really good job. So.
That's very good work on that.
Ken?
Ordinance.
Hard work. Who's best wishes for us?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Sweet.
Thanks, everyone. Ken, how many years have you been here?
We'll get flowers next month.
No. I was just trying to think. 'Cause Ken was here when I started. No. But Ken was here when I started. And
He's getting 25.
I was gonna say, you gotta be getting close.
I bet the county can check QuickBooks and see whenever a check is. We wouldn't have it.
I don't know. I don't think we did.
When I first came, I had to move it too quick, but
Yeah.
that was a project.
I actually thought about that when I was looking at anniversary days. We do appreciate you.
Oh, man, God, I think it was such a wonderful opportunity here. I appreciate you saying that. I get thanked every time I come here, man. I mean, just by being able to do it.
Sure.
I am honored by all your words and thoughts and flowers, and thank you very much.
You're worth it.
I'd just like to thank everybody as well, Cheryl, Solomon said, that we do appreciate it very much. Two candidates that are here, thank you guys for coming. You saw the email I sent out. We'll try to communicate monthly what we've got going on, because with Steve not running, there's maybe Mark doesn't win either. Two people are gonna get in, likely one new person, who knows, but, best of luck and we appreciate you, hearing what's going on and keeping up with how things are transitioning. Steve, thank you for 4 years of putting up with us and everything you've done. A little surprised that you weren't running, I understand it. You'll be able to wet some fishing lines more than you do now or whatever, or who knows? Come back here in a year or two, you never know. We do appreciate it. I thank you for all you've done being on council.
Thanks, Charlie.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Mark made a
Hey,
motion.
hey,
Won't take your fire away.
Tim second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
hey.
Motion carries.
Oh.